Kellen, traditionally the Ravens have a tough physical defense. Is that something that you see this year still on tape?
No question. I think these guys are doing a nice job. I think, like any team, they're always making adjustments throughout the season. I think they've done some nice stuff, playing really good ball. They challenge you during your preparation, just all the things that they do, and so it'll be a great challenge.
What are the unique things that a Ravens defense does to stop their run, which has been kind of the way it's been under John for many years?
Yeah, I think first and foremost they're really sound. That you can tell they're all coordinated. They're all working together. They understand their assignments, gap sound, all that sort of stuff. Backers do an excellent job of fitting the run game. DNs do a great job setting the edges. I think it's all tied together really, really well.
Strength versus strength with your running game against their run defense, at least on paper. So when you have a team that's struggling a little bit defending the pass, but you run it so well, how does that affect your thought process coming into the week?
Yeah, obviously we prepare every week with the understand that we navigate games, depending on how the flow of it goes, and so certainly, we've been able to run the football successfully the last few weeks, and certainly we've leaned in that. Do you love that formula? Absolutely, but games take different turns, and you got to navigate those and adjust those accordingly throughout the season, and so we'll continue to be ready for that.
What are you seeing in the discrepancy between their run defense and their pass defense, which I think is second worst in the NFL? Do you see like a reasoning there? Or?
Yeah, certainly. I think when you watch it, I think there's big plays in both elements of it. I think obviously they've played some premier pass offenses the last few weeks. When you play Cincinnati twice, the last couple of weeks, and you play some of those teams, and some teams fell behind a little bit earlier in the season, and so there's a lot of attempts being thrown from a pass game perspective, and so. I think this is a really, really good defense that does a variety of things, and they stress you.
When you're facing a defense that is ranked so highly against the run, is there sometimes like an element that's not translatable because of the uniqueness that Jalen kind of brings to your run game?
Certainly, we feel like we have some advantages associated with the run game. Certainly, there's a lot of confidence with it. By no means are we stubborn to that point, but we understand that it'll be a challenge, just like every week. There's challenges for every opponent that we face. These guys have done a really good job against the run game. Certainly, we'd like to run the football, but we understand that sometimes pass game becomes more viable in certain situations, and so we're ready to make those adjustments as games go.
A sentiment in the locker room after the game. A sentiment in the locker room after the game was that those explosive runs in the second half were a byproduct of sticking to the run and kind of working things out as you go. As a play caller, how do you determine whether to stick to the run or get away from it?
Certainly, there's a lot of conversations go into that throughout the game. I think when you see the small marginal progress going, I think you anticipate eventually the big opportunities are going to present themselves. And we felt like we were close in the first half in a number of those runs. We felt like they were positive runs that were leading to some 6, 7, 8 yard gains. We felt like these are close, and if they miss one tackle or get one missed assignment, we got explosive opportunity. And so credit to our guys hanging in there.
Hey, Kellen, you started to use Saquon. Sorry, Brooke. You started to use Saquon more in the passing game the last few weeks. What do you like about him in that aspect of the game?
Certainly, anytime Saquon can get the ball, touches are obviously awesome. I think credit to Jalen. He's done an excellent job of finding Saquon in some of these. There's a few screens, but also just finding him in check down situations. And 2 weeks ago against Washington, I thought Jalen did an excellent job. He found him on check down, turned it into an explosive play. And I think just the more we keep working through those progressions, I think Jalen's done a really nice job of that.
Was that the most five-man front you saw this year in the game against the Rams? And if so, how much confidence does it give you that you're able to put up that many yards against that many five-man fronts?
Rams did a good job. They obviously, just like any team, they all have their own flavor, and so they had their 5-down front structure that certainly we anticipated, and then they're going to do some different things within it. I thought our guys did a really good job of hanging in there. Like we said, some of those run plays, we felt like they were close, with those particular looks, and we felt like if we can hang in there, we'll have some more opportunities as the game progressed. And so credit to our guys for adjusting, seeing how they were moving. There's a lot of line movement associated with it, and so our guys did a good job.
We've heard you guys talk about getting some unscouted looks from these teams. Do you ever try to anticipate those? How do you go about that?
Yeah, I think a lot of the process of every week's going to have different flavor. Every week, teams prepare just like we prepare. They're going to give you something that's different than you've seen on film, and certainly we do our best to create rules that always apply to, have an answer in game. And then within the game, there's always the ability to make an adjustments, whether that's just, players to players, coaches to players, those adjustments within the game. And so, our guys do a really good job of it. I think making those quick adjustments and applying what we need to apply based off the defense.
There's a big difference in Saquon's yards from the first half to the second half. I think it's like 400 in the first half, and 900 plus in the second. Is there why do you think there's such a big disparity there?
It's a great question. I don't know if I've studied it, analytically to evaluate, why, but I do think there's an element of, we pride ourselves on being a really physical run game, and those things wear on you as the game goes on. And when you get the opportunities that we get and the way these games have played out, you can kind of keep grinding it out as the second half progresses, and those big plays eventually pop.
Vic disputed the notion that like the NFL is slanted to the pass now versus even 20, 30 years ago, just if you look at the numbers. But yet, teams are definitely running it more this year. What have you seen, and what has been behind that evolution or that change, I guess?
That's a great question, and probably something when you step back, maybe someone has a better perspective of it than me from a league perspective. But, I think obviously structurally, you can navigate how defenses are constantly flowing, and we can all see the trends over the last few years of how defenses kind of adjust and then offenses adjust, and you go back and forth, and that's kind of the battle that this thing always is. And I think a lot of the top offenses right now are running the football and doing a really good job of it. And obviously you've seen that, and doesn't diminish the importance of the pass game in any way, because you need that in all those critical situations, and there's going to come games that we're going to have to lean on the pass, and that's just how this league is.
You mentioned the flow of the game, personality of the game. Generally, it's been run heavy recently. But Jahan Dotson didn't get a ton of opportunities. How do you sort of evaluate it in that type of situation?
Yeah, a lot of positives from Jahan's work. Just obviously the production. He hasn't had as many opportunities as probably we or he anticipated, but that's how sometimes these games go. And hopefully, as we keep progressing, those opportunities will present themselves, because when we have had those chances, he's capitalized and he's done a really nice job.
Along those lines, obviously with Devontae out, AJ got quite a bit more attention. Like, what did you see from his game, what he was able to do and everything?
Yeah, AJ did an excellent job winning one-on-ones when he had those opportunities and being physical. And obviously the run after the catch was really impressive.
What makes him so good at creating yards after catch?
Probably just mentality. I think he's really physical with the football. He does an excellent job. I think he does a good job. Ball security still within that, and then other guys getting into the perimeter blocking. A big emphasis of ours of guys getting downfield and getting that extra block, because hey, he breaks that tackle, and now you get to the safety, and now we're getting even more. And so guys are all involved in it.
The Ravens stay in nickel and dime.
Whenever you're creating run plays, like what is the intention of, or how much can you tell whether it could turn into an explosive run? Or how much is that just Saquon or sticking to the run?
Run designs. Obviously, we're trying to block as many guys. There's only 10. Someone's going to be unblocked at some point. So we're trying to design plays, obviously, to give ourselves the most success. Obviously, some runs are dirty runs that we anticipate being grinded out runs, and some are maybe a little bit more of the explosive opportunities. But I think our guys do an excellent job. I think the beauty and the big importance of the run game is just that it takes everyone. It takes Jalen being a run threat and his ability to do the play action game. It takes the receivers in the perimeter blocking, Covey, AJ, explosive blocks that created those big long touchdowns. And so when we go through the run game, it's really about everyone. And then obviously we know once Saquon gets out in space what he can do. And so obviously it takes everyone.
The Ravens don't stay in base a lot. In fact, I think they use as much nickel and dime as any defense. Yet they're still great at stopping the run. How is that?
Yeah, I think again, it's a very sound defense. They're very gap sound. Their base numbers have maybe trickled up a little bit as of late, but seasons take ebbs and flows, and so I think this defense just does a really good job working together. You don't see people misaligned, screwed up in the run game. They're very sound. The backers, I think, do an excellent job fitting the gaps so you don't get to the second level. It's good, and then the safeties come in and fill.
Kellen, his yards after the catch, a function of play design.
Great question. I think obviously we're trying to create one-on-one opportunities, and when you create one-on-one opportunities, and we have the guys that we feel like can make plays beyond that, that's where the beauty is. And like we were saying, we really emphasize the component that it takes everyone, and those guys that turn around and flip and find is a term we use a lot, that they can go find a DB, find a safety, because when we break a tackle, now we got big plays.
By flip and find, you mean they catch the ball with their back to defense and then turn, is that what you're?
All the other receivers, you run a route and you're looking for the ball to be thrown your way, and when it doesn't get thrown your way, you flip and find the DB so you can go block.
When you've got a player as productive as Saquon, do you get even more anticipating of the team sending you a look you haven't seen before? How do you prepare for that?
Just like any season, obviously, we're going to get a lot of different looks. We're going to get a lot of structures. I think certainly the last few weeks are good examples of, teams are going to have their flavor, and that's what the NFL is. I don't think it's saying anything new or unique per se to us. Obviously, they're going to do what they feel like can, stop the run in some of those situations and make it challenging for us, and that's the back and forth battle of the NFL.
Last one here, Tim.
The run game coordinator aspect of Jeff Stoutland's role. What stands out about that? What makes him so effective in that role?
Yeah, Stout just does an excellent job of the preparation aspect. He's obviously one of the best in the league as far as preparing us and putting ourselves in a situation that come Monday and Tuesday as we're all teaming up on this thing. It's a really fun collaborative effort, and Stout does an excellent job of tying it all together. And Jason's a part of it, TJ's a part of it, Jamal, everyone really everyone on our staff. And I think that's the cool part of it, is that everyone kind of works on it, and then we work on it together collectively to make sure it's all tied together and it complements the pass game and everyone's coordinated.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Kellen.